Welcome, welcome. Unfortunately, our guest had an emergency today, so I can resuscitate an old slideshow, or we can hang out and just answer questions and ponder life in general. So, let me know what you would like to talk about. I had some interesting cases this week. Um, Iridology cases that were really cool on some horses that I'm going to share with my companion clinical course tomorrow. So I'm going to hold you in suspense because I'm dying to share it with you. So Kathleen's like, Kathleen, I'm freaking out how cool these cases are. Not necessarily cool for the horses, but cool for us as animal iridologists. So, what's your deepest, darkest question that maybe I can address? Do you have any?
Well, Poppy, if you want to go address my question from today in more depth.
Absolutely. So, Hope texted me today about scar tissue. And is there any way to dissolve scar tissue? And I'm going to say yes, there is. And I've had some success with homeopathy. I've had success with two products, but visible jaw dropping success with one in mind is Ledum, Ledum, and in a 200 or a 30C, depending on how long the scar tissue's been there. So I've actually had years old scar tissue dissolve with that. So on horses where they've had some gnarly wounds and there's like buckling and thickness, and giving the way I found out about it is I gave Ledum for something totally different, and all the bad healing scars went flat and started looking really great. So now it's part of my protocol post surgery for anything, because just think, if you have like stitches in a horse's face, one of my horses cut his face and he had to have some stitches in there. And unless he's wet, you cannot see where the stitches were. And then I had another horse stick something in his neck. You know how horses are. I have like little caps on all my T-posts, and showed up to feed him one morning, and he has this like the size of my fist or bigger hole in his neck that just missed his major arteries and veins, and it healed so beautiful that I had to look up on the video where that was because I couldn't tell. There's no real scar tissue anywhere. Now, I will say, when he turns his neck, there's some restricted motion, but he's also a wobbler. So he has a 45-degree angle spinal compression in his cervical C4. And so it was above that, but not by much. So it kind of probably imposed on that area. So Ledum is fantastic, but you could also do Theocynaminum. I've also had really good results for topical scar tissue with a product called Wujinsan. It's from Mana Life Lab. I think it's manalifelab.com. And it's a human product of humic fulvic acid. You can put it in a spray bottle and spray it on saddle sores. So you know how the horses, like right by the withers, turn white when they've had an ill-fitting saddle? You just keep saturating that area, and pretty soon all of that white hair turns back to normal, which is great. And often I'll put in my hair. I don't have any lately. And my hair is telling the story that I am kind of missing that. I have a massive sun beams shining in my face, so I just keep trying to avoid that. And it's really hot in my house. So I am sweating while everybody else is freezing. across the nation. Um, Other scar tissue remedies, you could pack the area if it's a topical scar in bentonite clay. You can also use red light therapy and electromagnetic pulse. I like Beamer. I like low pulse frequency instead of high pulse frequency, especially if you're going to do it more often. So, hope did that help you? You could also do aloe vera and maybe even cell food. So, when we do our dissections, when I partner with Lori Mueller to do the dissections, the last dissection we did, this horse had this scar tissue wrapped around the esophagus stomach connection to the point of like 3 inches. And so and that esophagus was damaged like 1 foot above the stomach junction. And so I had to ponder that is if that was a horse that was a client of mine, how would I have gone about trying to help that horse? And I think cell food would also be a go to for me. Cell food is a human product that it used to be Lumina Health, but Lumina Health has now turned into, or I don't know if they just quit carrying cell food or they just, some other company picked it up. But it's a small white bottle. It says Cell, CELLFOOD, across the label. It is an acid and it will burn holes in your clothes. But when you put it in water, it helps repair bone disorders like OCD lesions and navicular lesions. And it packs brand new bone in there. It's an amazing product. You want to mix it with water though. Don't use it straight because it's like a chemical peel. I've used it on my face before on some skin abnormalities and it literally ripped it off my face and left a hole in it to where I could kind of almost see the bone. And that was a little alarming. So, cell food, I imagine, would debride some of that. And cell food might even dissolve stones, but I don't know for sure. I suspect that because it does dissolve foreign bodies. And it is safe for dogs and horses. There is a little tiny bit of grape juice in it for flavoring, I think. But I've used it successfully in dogs that ate foreign bodies that needed to be burnt out. Now, if it was like bones or something like that, I doubt I'd work on that. Okay.
So
Any
if
other?
it's a homeopathic, yeah, like so my daughter, her horse has a lot of scar tissue from where he separated his sacroiliac ligament from the sacrum. And he kind of, the vet said he can see where he had like, it had started to heal and he injured it again. Would you do like a 30C for a month, like the lower dose because it's more chronic and you're doing like longer? Or
No,
you would do
chronic, you
200
go to
still?
a 200C. I use 30Cs for acute
Okay.
because you can multi-dose every 15 minutes on some acute injury, whereas the 200C hits deeper into the cellular system. And it takes a little, it's slower and longer and deeper, all of the above. But every body processes it differently. Now, when I talked to Dr. Picarin, when we did his conversation, he is a 10 LM freak. Like, he was like, Poppy, you need to use 10 LMs. You will never go back. And I haven't done it. Hope so. Look
Yeah, I
into,
don't think I could do that either. I don't know, man.
well, if you want to try, you can, or like research it. But I
And
can't.
you just do like the 200 once a day for a month or a week
No,
or
it's a 10 LM. So that's its
okay,
own potency. So
right.
you can get those at Hahnemann Labs,
But
and
if I was to use the 200, how often and like how long?
so you're gonna use it once every few days, unless you don't see it working, and then you're going to use it a couple times a day. So I like to start off using it a little hard and fast, but hard and fast with the 200C might be like 3 doses within the day. But if it's working, don't do that. You don't want to ruin what the remedy's already working on. So you'll want to let it ride, and then the minute you feel like it maxed itself out and it's plateaued, dose it again. See if you can get it to jump up a little higher. And it's funny, homeopathy is such a funny modality because we as Americans love immediate gratification, right? And so if we see it work, we're like, yay, it's working. Let's give more. That's the last thing you want to do. If it's working, you want to ride the ride. And then I've had people call me from accounts and go, you know that homeopathic remedy you recommended? It worked so good for like a month and we didn't have to redose, but now it wore off. I'm all, did you redose it after the month? They're like, no, we didn't know what to do. I'm like, just redose. So it could last an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year. So it just depends on how the body's going to take it. And you can.
And on something,
Go ahead.
with something internal like that, how do you know for sure if it's working? Just by like if he's not moving his stiff or
Yeah, and can you palpate it? Can you move the fascia? Like, is there some restriction, resistance, some signs of pain like ear pinning or discomfort?
okay. We'll
Does,
have to check for those.
yeah, does that help?
Yeah,
Okay, Kathleen, what's
thank
your...
you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for texting me that.
What was the name of the product that you put in your hair for the scar tissue?
Wujinsan, Wujinsan. I love their Lithosin pet product, but they have a human liquid product, and it's really fun for pain in general. So it's a consumable product. You put it in like distilled water or purified water and you can drink it that way. I actually detox pretty hard on it, so I can only use like half a teaspoon to a glass of water, because it's a little intense for me. But topically, if you have a horse or a dog that has pain, you can, and you don't know where the pain is, same with bentonite. You can spritz their body, rub it in, and as you rub it in, the areas of pain get very hot, and the areas of non-pain stay neutral. So you can literally feel the heat pulling out of those areas, and it's shrinking the inflammation on that. Now, bentonite for horses, you guys, if you don't know how much I love bentonite, it is so much fun. And every horse owner should have a nice big bag of bentonite sitting in their barn. It should always be in your first aid kit. It is like doing an MRI on your horse. So if you have a mystery issue where your horse is feeling kind of jacked up, you can, I put it in a Ziploc bag, I mash it up with water. You can even add a little colloidal silver if you want it. It changes the texture. So I make this huge, wet, messy bag of clay, and then I turn it inside out and smear it all over the horse. Now, one of my favorite stories about bentonite clay was some client reached out to me. We have a mystery lameness. So we packed him in clay, and he did not dry in 2 spots. Bentonite will dry, depending on the texture, the thickness, and the weather, around 45 minutes to a couple hours. In areas that are hot, inflamed, or ill, it takes longer. So as it draws the heat, the inflammation, or even the toxin out, it will stay wet and it'll dry really dark. It won't dry white. And so on this horse, these two areas took a really long time to dry and they dried dark. And so we knew, or we thought we knew, the areas of trauma, but we didn't know what it was. So these people pack their horse up, go get an MRI, spend a ton of money, and the answer was identical to the bentonite clay pack. So where those two areas heated up on the MRI was the exact same two areas that the bentonite didn't dry. And it was such a bad situation for them because there was no answer still. So here they paid thousands and thousands of dollars for an MRI, and already all they got was confirmation of what the bentonite had already showed them. And so they were so frustrated because the vets were like, oh, here's your area of pain. She goes, we knew that. And she goes, but why? And they're like, we can't tell you off an MRI. And so it was just frustrating. So if you do have those areas show up on a bentonite clay pack, just keep packing the area over and over again. I actually broke my foot years ago. I was doing a body work on my own horse, and he got stuck on the mat or something freaky happened, and he slipped and he fell on my foot and broke it. And I packed my foot in bentonite over and over again. So I just grabbed a Ziploc bag, added water, stuck my foot in it. My foot was so big it could not fit back in the boot, and I couldn't walk or stand on it at all. So as the bentonite dried, it took hours and hours and hours for it to dry. Every time it dried, I repacked it. Every time I repacked it, it dried faster. And I just leave the clay on my foot the whole time. So the only time I washed it off was at night when I took a shower. And when I washed it off, I actually had zero pain until it washed off. So here's this broken foot. I made like a soft cast out of bentonite. It felt pretty good. And I was starting to walk on it and the inflammation was going down. But in the shower, when the shower drops, the water drops were hitting it, tears were streaming down my face because it was so crazy painful with the bentonite off. But with the bentonite on, I felt nothing. It absolutely numbed the pain. The fracture healed in 7 days. And I went on and just kept going. So other than being down for those few days, after the first 72 hours, I literally could walk on it as long as the clay was on it. I just didn't want to ruin my bone structure and ruin the healing opportunity. So just laying low. I think day 5, I actually went and danced on it, and it was fine too. I was really surprised. And it's funny because usually when fractures heal a little weird, if they do heal weird, the weather will irritate it. Like you have those old timers that are like, cold weather's coming, my knee aches. I don't have any of that from that foot. And what else? I have had that foot blow up though later on in life to a homeopathic remedy. So it ignited that inflammation again. And I don't know why. It was mistletoe. Mistletoe, I was taking it for something else and it almost rebroke that foot for some reason. And it kind of freaked me out. So I quit taking it and it went away again. All right. Any other questions about that? Bentonite's a really great tool to have for allergies. So you can use it topically for hives. You can use it orally for hives. So it flushes histamines, anxiety, like the chemistry of worry, adrenaline overload, testosterone, if you have a very aggressive stallion, it will kind of neutralize a stallion's overreactivity and make him gelding-like without affecting his fertility. So, and safe to show on. So you can show on it. The downside to bentonite, there's a lot of different bentonites on the market. You don't want to use the beauty clay packing bentonite. You can flush out Hawk injections and any other injections using bentonite clay. So I do use it post vaccines to help pull vaccines out. It grabs onto the adjuvants. It does not ruin their immunity. So don't worry about that.
Do you use that internally for vaccines?
Internally and topically at the vaccine site, both.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. And so pack the body before hives. I had another fun story about bentonite. I was showing this horse and campaigning this young stallion, and he got a stone bruise. He was dead lame, and you can pack the hoof in it to help pull the stone bruises or abscesses out. It pulls it out faster than I think Magna Paste. I like it way better than Magna Paste. But I didn't have time for that, so I just fed it to him. I just made clay. You always want to feed it wet, not dry. And I just put it in his mouth over and over again throughout the day. And by that afternoon, when it came time to show him, he was 100% sound. So that is fun.
So how much bentonite are you actually feeding them each time?
So it depends on the situation. And Stacy just asked, how do you dose for a steady behavior? And I would start with a tablespoon if it's pretty aggressive. You could start light if you're not like at a horse show or something like that. You could go a teaspoon, mix it in water, pour it over the supplements, or make it a gooey clay and smear it in their mouth. Or you could just start on a tablespoon. Now, on extreme hives, I never do more than 4 tablespoons a day. That's kind of my max dose. And I don't normally go longer. If you're going to do that high a dose, I don't normally go longer than a month. I know lots of people that go up to 2 months, and you can do that with success. I've heard some people say that it deworms. I don't think it deworms. I think it binds. So I use it post deworming to bind and help flush the parasites and the toxins they leave. So every disease has its own chemistry, whether it's a parasite, a virus, a bacteria, a fungus, a yeast. And so when you're killing those things, they emit a chemistry that can equally be harmful, which I call residual damage. And so you can always flush residual damage out. So Stacy, if he's aggressive, go ahead and go with a tablespoon several times a day, morning and night at least, and go with that. And you may want to go with maybe ginkgo. Ginkgo is based on ginkgo, you guys, for cognitive function and to get the ADHD out of an aggressive horse or kind of a spooky horse. It's based on brain size, not body size. So you have 1,000-pound horse, you think, let's shove a ton of herbs at them. You don't need to do that with ginkgo. Their brains are smaller than us. Their dosage is smaller than us. So normally, if I do ginkgo, I'll do half a teaspoon or even a quarter of a teaspoon to start. And you can start that. But also, Stacy, you may want to do Nux vomica. So I love Nux vomica for aggressive horses. I have this bay horse, the wobbler, that stuck the T-post or something in his neck. He was an orphan, and his mom died during childbirth. he was stuck on another mare, and this foal shared the mare with its mama's foal, and they nursed on this mom together. He was diagnosed as wobbler early on. They were going to euthanize him, and I was asked to take him on as a project, and I did. Well, he was really rude. He was really pushy, really rude. He kicked, he bit me. Just orphan horse behavior in that regards. And this went on for a while. Turned out he also had EPM, so I treated him for EPM. I cured it. It was NHUJC. I used my own herbal blend and homeopathy, and he went from high titers to zero low titer, just barely detectable titer, and was bucking, running, and playing. But I still didn't ride him because he still had that spinal compression. But nobody would have known that he was a wobbler. He looked so great. Now, the behavior got better after treating him for EPM, but it didn't go away all the way. So I did 1 dose of Nux Vomica and it was gone. So this horse who bullies me, pushes on me, and I tried to be like his friend. I tried to do natural horsemanship, and I had to go, like, I ended up having to really lay down some ground rules. And he's part thoroughbred. He's pretty arrogant, and he's beautiful. So Nux Vomica, 30C, 1 deal, slip it in his mouth, 5 pellets. He takes a deep breath. He lets go. He buries his head in my arms. And he's been pretty good since. He's just ramping up lately and being a little pushy. He's on DePaula's Ozactin, and I think it makes him feel really good. And I think he's getting a little snotty about that. But overall, it has taken that whip in a chair type of need for that aggressive behavior. So give that a go too. You might have that in a kit sitting right there in your home at your fingertips. So that won't hurt to try that. Any other questions, Kathleen?
No.
So what else do you guys want to talk about? So yay, I love bentonite. I love bentonite a lot. I put it on cuts, wounds, scrapes. If you have a gaping open hole, I would not do that, but maybe somebody else would. I'd look into it. But scrapes, definitely. I've seen it do a really good job on like overreaches and stuff like that. Homeopathy is, I always pray first, and then I usually grab a homeopathic remedy. I am all big about pet prayers. I think pet prayers are really important. In the Bible it says, preach the gospel to all creatures, and I take that seriously. So I'm not sure quite what that meant and what that looks like. So I just kind of do my own interpretation of that. I bless the animals, and I pray for them in regards to scripture pertaining to the issue at hand. So love pet prayers. I'll even go as far as writing scripture on them and anointing them with like frankincense or myrrh or some sort of anointing oil. So yay to that. Hope, what else? Do you have any other questions?
Whenever you get to
That's. Go ahead.
Who has questions? Throw your hand up if you want.
I'm driving right now, so I can't throw my hand up. But
Okay.
so, like, I have a dog that is chewing her foot. She just started like last Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
And my thought, I soaked it in Epsom salt yesterday. And my thought was to do, it's really hard to soak a dog, by the way. Let
Okay.
me tell you.
So you can put it in a Ziploc bag and just like wrap it around their
So
foot.
if it's bone and arthritic, Or is she?
So
What's that?
dogs will lick their
Can you?
feet too when their stomachs are jacked up. So it could
Oh
be,
no, she's like chewing it till it bleeds.
yeah, they can do that because of like they're like so jacked up in the stomach they just bent on their feet. So send your eyes tomorrow in clinical course.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, like do eyes tomorrow, but I didn't know it's also possible she could have stepped on something out on the hill where there's like a bunch of fallen trees and we have like we burn wood, so there's a bunch of wood cut up and she's been venturing that area a lot lately.
How long's this 9 on the foot gone?
How what?
How long has she been gnawing on her foot?
She just started like Friday.
Okay. And you soaked her in Epsom salt. You could do bentonite. It's gonna be messy though. You could
I
also
thought maybe if I packed it and then wrapped it with gauze and then some vet wrap for a little bit and then take it off.
you can also do ozone or charcoal. So I'll do a charcoal dip on paws that have absorbed some sort of poison or toxin. So if your dog or cat has walked through something that's been sprayed with Roundup or some petrochemical or something like that, you guys never walk your dogs around gas tanks, like gas stations. So know that they can absorb that gasoline through their paws and it's toxic and dangerous to them. So if that does happen, you can bentonite their paws, but you can also just pour activated charcoal in a little Ziploc bag and get their paws a little damp and dip it in there and let them wear that. It will make everything a mess. So keep your dog outside for a little while and let it do its job. Also, if you do a topical flea and tick product and your dog has an allergy to it, activated charcoal will remove that. So you can just shake it on there. You guys, it's a very fine dust, so you don't want to aspirate. You don't want your pet to aspirate. You could mix it in a little shampoo if you want, but you can put it on topically. I actually did that for my dog when he got sprayed with it from a skunk. I didn't have the skunk deodorizing recipe, so the Dawn dishwashing solution with the baking soda and the hydrogen peroxide. I had to go to the store to get that. So I just took activated charcoal and packed his whole body in it, and it soaked up some of that oil. And when I finally got his stuff pulled together and washed him in it, it worked really well. Now he's been sprayed 5 times now. So
He's a stupid dog.
Stop. He doesn't care. He does not care one bit. It's driving me a little crazy, and I think I'm gonna stick an umbrella on his back. And he's black, you guys. So at night, if he runs the property of 5 acres, I cannot see him. And he knows I can't see him. And he hides
I was gonna say they know it too. We had a black dog that did that. It would be you would shine a light and it would flash his eyes so you'd know he was there.
Yeah,
And then he still thought you didn't see him.
I caught him off my cell phone camera on the flashlight just because of that too. And he acted like he was not there. He was like running by me and like minding his own business, not paying attention to me, calling his name 20 feet away from him. So he blew me up. And
You'll have to get a reflective collar.
Yeah, one of my girlfriends said get one with a little flashing light on it. But
you can get the whole collar that luminesces.
Yeah, as long as I'd only use it at night because
just at night so you can,
yeah. I think that's a great idea.
It's interesting how they always know it though.
They know they're black. They know that no other animals can see them or smell them, or at least me. And my eyesight's not horrible.
I keep a bell on Candy because when I first got her as a baby, she only fit in a cat harness and it had a bell on it. And I always know that she's with me when I'm walking.
I could do that, and that would maybe scare the skunks too.
It might not scare them fast enough, but dogs are pretty quick when they want to investigate a skunk.
I know.
Does he kill the skunks?
No, no. And for a while, he got really smart about them, Kathleen. He literally would only face them. Like, he wouldn't let their butt be in his face.
Oh, excellent.
And so I was like, huh, he's pretty smart. He's got that figured out. But 5 skunks later, I'm a little over it. I called the rescue, and I'm like, I don't know, you guys.
I think it's time for him to go to a new home.
He might be better as a city dog. He is living his best life right now, though.
And I saw there was some bulldog rescue. It was in the States, and they had the cutest little bulldog. And I thought, that's Poppy's dog.
Oh
She needs this little bulldog. Get rid of this foster dog. Get this purebred bulldog. Oh, she was so sweet.
I'm telling you, English
They're out
bulldogs,
there.
they are like Pringles to me. I just would want 1,000 of them. I love them so much it hurts.
Get them. Get them.
I need to create a bulldog trust fund.
Yes.
For all their medical issues. Julie, you have a question or a comment or anything like that? What is your thoughts, Julie, on red light for scar tissue?
It's amazing for scar tissue.
That's what I thought. And what about deep-rooted scar tissue? Like not super.
They could be years old, and you start using light on it, and it dissipates it. I'll send you some photos of before and afters. I have a few.
Excellent.
Does it work on scar tissue around along like the spine and stuff too?
I'm assuming yes, because I've seen them all over, like really gnarly horse legs, and a guy, he fell, he had a cut on over his eye, and then he was, you could see the progression on how it got better and better over like a month time period or something.
Do you guys, let me show gallery. Okay, so question, Julie. Do you have a comment?
I have two questions.
Thank you for that comment, because I was telling Hope about red light. How deep does the red light go?
If you have infrared, it goes. Red is more superficial, and I could post the picture that I have from my presentation. Infrared drives it deeper down into the tissues, all the way down into the bones. And we have 810 infrared, which is the most powerful. You can penetrate the cranium and go really, really deep into the body, and it will actually help with Alzheimer's and dementia. They're using it for humans.
I keep loaning my torch out, and I have hardly used it because all my friends love it.
So go get another one.
I know.
and then start selling them. You have an affiliate link.
I have been sending my affiliate link to people, but I don't know if they're buying it. But you guys, that torch is fun. I didn't want to like it. I'm Julie.
She fought with me for years.
I have. I've totally fought with Julie. I'm like, Jesus never used red light. Jesus did.
Yes, he did. You know what? I'm going to send you my presentation from Linda Loudon's Dog Moms, where I'm talking at the beginning about how, so.
Let there be light.
Well, not only that, the sun, when it comes up in the morning and at the end of the day, is red and infrared light. So if you go outside, you're not going to burn. You're not going to get all the UV stuff, and you are going to get the best supplement versus supplement, being light therapy. And then during the day, as the day goes on, other colors come into the spectrum. You're still getting red and infrared, but it's more diffused with all the others. But the problem is that we're all inside now. Some animals, small animals, never leave the house. They're in New York and they're in an apartment, a cat, and all the light from sunlight is coming through diffused windows because it's blocking the sun. So they never get sun, and that's why half of them are sick. If you went out every morning with your animals for 15 minutes, you'd be a hell of a lot healthier. So now I should practice what I preach. But that's why we created the blanket that encompasses the whole body, so that everybody can get light all day, around their body and help their animals heal. And then most red light companies do one red, usually 660, and one infrared, usually 850. We do 2 reds and 3 infrareds with that
Well,
810.
and you do a multicolored too, right? With that torch?
With the torch, we have blue. Blue is antimicrobial, antibacterial. It will clear up MRSA. It has. And most companies do blue, red, and nobody does infrared in a torch to speak of. I don't think anybody does.
I
So
love that infrared. I
What's
can
the name of the torch, please?
Poppy can put her link in the chat.
Animal Soul, Animal.
ANI. Okay, it's
Thank you.
HTTPS / anima animal without an L ANIMASOL.life / what's your link?
Poppy, I think.
Okay,
I'll have to look it up.
it's either Poppy Phillips SOL or Poppy SOL.
Yeah, I think it's Poppy SOL, but
Let me go look and see if I have it. The other thing is, so the reason you're gonna lose me for a second while I look up your link. The reason we combine the blue with the infrared and the red is technically for blue to be the most effective, you should be doing red and infrared, and most companies usually just blue on their own. So then you have to go back in and do another, 3, 5, whatever you're doing minutes of the red to follow it. So with us, we just combined it all together, one-stop shop. You don't have to go in twice. And then once you get something healed, then you I don't have your link.
yeah, I'll look it up and I'll
Yeah,
put it
and
in
let
the
me know
group.
so that I keep everybody's, because everybody always forgets it. Anyway, so now you only have to do one session, and then as the thing heals and the bacteria or the incision closes, the cut closes, the open wound closes, then you could just go to red and infrared. And then if you have a really deep, more like an arthritic problem or something, you could just use straight infrared. I've never done straight infrared. I just do red and infrared.
That's what I do. So I have more questions about
Okay.
this. There's a lot of trending information like on Instagram and TikTok that you have to have it touch your skin. And I don't know if that's true or not. What do you think?
It is.
Okay.
It's not mandatory. Okay, so if you have the standalone, like the Mido or whatever, and it's on a table, there's 2 problems with that. One, it's hooked up to electric, so you're getting electromagnetic rays coming at you. But if it's not on your skin, in that space between you and the device, where's the light going? It's going to the left, the right, down on the ground. It's going everywhere. So you're getting light and you're going to get some benefit, but you're not getting the same. If you put it on your skin, it's just got nowhere to go but back into your skin. So you're going to get a much better, whatever. You need to watch my presentation.
That'd be
I got that in there too.
Okay.
But I would like to say that I walk at dawn for the very reason, Julie, you said. And besides, I like watching the sunrise. But also at dawn, I don't know if you guys knew this, but when the birds sing, the pre-dawn chorus,
it opens the
stomata of the leaves of the plants. So you also get an extra burst of oxygen.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
So now you're getting the sun, the benefit of all the different rays the sun has, plus your extra oxygen. And it's very uplifting.
All right, so in my presentation, which ties off to that, we talk about photosynthesis. So you have your plants, they're sucking in the sun and the water to build up their stamina, which is basically feeding their mitochondria so that they can thrive and grow. They're also sucking water out of the ground that's infused with sunlight. So that's what makes them tick and what makes them go. They expel the oxygen, we breathe it in, then we expel the carbon monoxide. That's respiration. What?
Carbon dioxide.
Is it right? What did I say?
Not monoxide.
That's respiratory. Oh God, I can't think of it.
I think I know what you're trying to say, but I'm
right. And you're blowing that out. then the plants are breathing that back in, and then they're recycling it and sending it back out to us. So, you
So
know,
the CO2 is exhaling.
right. And then on top of it, you have the circadian rhythm clocks because you want to sleep at night and not during the day. The problem is that if you have light in your room or if you don't keep to that clock, your light and dark cycles are all messed up too. So it's all intertwined with quantum biology and everything else. I've been taking my podcast with Linda. You can post it if you want.
Yeah, you can post it
Okay.
in the
There's a
group.
lot of Q&A at the end too.
So
What's
those
your
of you,
sorry,
Go.
go ahead.
no, Kathleen.
What's your website, Julie?
It's HTT. Well, I want to give you Poppy's. She should get the credit. Go
Okay.
look up your link, Poppy.
I have it. I sent it to somebody recently, so let me.
So you sent them the right one.
Yeah,
Bad
no,
girl.
because it had my name in it. Let me look it up though.
And then put it in the chat. It should be I'll put in what it is without her part of it.
Search.
Boom, boom, boom. And when you land on the website, okay, it's going to be whatever Poppy tells us, and then SOL. When you land on the website, there's going to be a pop-up, unless they finally took it down, that says 10% off. Do not click that. Exit out and then keep shopping. And when you go to checkout, make sure in the discount box it has Poppy's code, which is, do you have it yet?
www.
I don't need all that.
animasol.life//Poppy Soul SOL.
Okay, so when you check out, make sure that Poppy SOL is in the discount box. If not, put it in there, and then Poppy will get credit for it.
Yay, thank you.
And you ship to Canada.
We do. You'll get some duty costs. We're working on getting a distributor up there because I
I might wait till all those tariffs disappear in a short while.
Where are you in Canada? Are you on the east or the west?
British Columbia, the west.
Yeah, that won't help. I have a friend in Toronto who also lives in Michigan, so sometimes she brings some stuff.
Oh, nice.
Nice, yeah.
But we're working on a distributor up there because it is a problem.
Well, maybe Kathleen can be a distributor.
I'm trying to get my iridology business up, and I've been so busy working, I haven't. The days just disappear.
Yeah.
By the way, Poppy's link will give you 10% off your order every time you order, and if you're in the US, it's free shipping. Sorry, you don't get free shipping.
Yay! That's amazing.
Well, racism or whatever it is, countryism,
patriotism. Yeah.
patriotism. That's it.
Yeah.
What other red light questions? And then I'll fire up my questions to you.
I think that's it. Christy Green says Salt and Light Wellness Spa opened up near us. It has red light tanning beds, or red light type of bed that looks like a tanning bed, and infrared sauna rooms too.
Oh, the saunas are wonderful if you turn down the heat, unless you like heat.
So the problem with the sauna rooms, they're good, but you have to be careful because they can burn your tissues and overdo it. Too much light can be too much light, if it's not the right wavelengths of light, can be too much. So
how do we know if, like, Christy's suddenly going to take advantage of this new wellness spa, that it might actually do harm?
No clue, because I don't know what they're using. I can only vouch for our devices. We are coming out with the human pad. It'll be out in April. It's actually a pretty good price. And it's like a sleeping bag. It's 2 halves and you just lay in it. And you could use it. It's very similar to our horse pad, but like half the price. So you could always use it on your horses too.
How do you clean it?
I don't, honestly, I don't know if the human one's going to be the fabric like the coat, or if it's going to be on like a plastic covering like the pad. I have to find out, but so far I've never had to clean my coat. I mean, It's fine.
Like, if I think I sleep in a or lay in a red light sleeping bag, I imagine that I will sweat.
And that's what I was thinking too. Although you don't get hot. What happens if you're heating up from red light, then it's too powerful. You will get warm though because your blood is circulating, and that's the warmth you're feeling. But it shouldn't get hot if it's a quality pad.
I think I detox pretty easily though.
Yeah, you after what we talked about what happened with you and the torch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you probably I have to ask Jackie about that because I mean I know Jackie TMI. She lays in there with nothing on. I'm sure.
Why
But
wouldn't you? Like,
I know, but for that reason, like you don't want to be sweating and making it gross either.
exactly.
Or if
No,
somebody else uses it, do you really want to be in somebody else's, whatever?
so that's why I was asking.
Yeah, I
Because
know. I
I'm
have to
like,
find out
oh.
if maybe you can put a sheet on the bottom and then nothing on the top, so because it will drip down, not up.
Well, thank you for engaging in that visual for me.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's
I'm
pretty
kind of
rough,
grossed out now, but that's okay.
Okay,
Inquiring
I have to
minds
say
wanted
though,
to
it'd
know.
probably be good. I mean, like in the morning when I'm laying in bed, I've got a pad on my back. I've got a pad on the two dogs. Each dog has a pad. Candy doesn't like them, but she's getting them. And we're all sitting there getting light with pads. But on me, I have to like do my back first, do my front second. Sometimes I do one on my face at the same time.
And one of my clients was really excited about it. She borrowed my torch for a while, and she has a thyroid concern, and she read a research paper on addressing red light on the thyroid, and it reversed the issue.
Yeah, it does help because I have thyroid issue. My thyroid's all messed up now because I'm doing, let me find my thing. Because I'm doing the light, I think that's why my numbers went wonky. I know my eyesight is better. I come from a family of macular degeneration and I have some, but it's not bad. And my eyesight, I can read things now without glasses on.
Well, Julie, I would have never known you were 70. I thought you were my age.
Not yet. 2 more weeks.
Oh, 2 more weeks. You're so close. What are you going to do for your birthday? Are you having a big party?
No, I don't have any friends really down here. That's why I got to get out of Florida. I have friends, but I don't have.
We can have a Zoom party for you. We can have a dance Zoom party.
There you go. Although, do I really want to celebrate?
Yeah, you made it.
I know.
Well, lots of people don't make it till 70, so they die at 10 or 20 or whatever. Like, you're blessed.
Well, and Julie, they definitely don't look like you. So you've gotta celebrate the fact that you're rocking 70.
Did I ever show you a picture of my mom, which was like 93 and rock? I mean, like
Yeah, she looked amazing.
So, this is the Bell boot.
Yes.
This only has one red and one infrared, so it's not as powerful, but it has the plastic coating.
So you could just wipe it.
I love this freaking thing. I wear it around my neck a lot because I have a bad neck. I drape it over my face because it's not as powerful, so I don't mind it on my eyes as much. And I have a bad back. It's I don't really have sciatica. I used to. I got rid of it with the light and stretching, but I have a thing on the right side of my halfway between my hip and my spine that is just old age degeneration. They can't do anything about it. And every once in a while it goes out, and especially if it's like barometric pressure kind of stuff, it's torture. I mean, like I could be screaming in pain down my legs unless I take one Tylenol will knock it out. I take this thing now and I put it like this. I hook it into the top of my pants and I walk around or sit at my chair. Unbelievable. Just knocks it right out.
That is so great because the friend of mine who was borrowing the torch, I took it away from her and now she has really bad sciatica. So
this definitely, even though it's not as strong as the blanket, it works. And it's great like on your wrist. When I have bad hands from old ski injuries when I used to ski all the time, and your knee, your ankle. When I was at VMX, the veterinary conference, I had this around my ankle most of the time. I had tripped in Jersey and I pulled a tendon or a ligament or something, and my ankle kept going out, even though it was 3 months later. So I put that on at the show because I was on my feet the whole time. It was starting to bother me. It hasn't bothered me since.
That's pretty impressive.
I
Did
know.
you use homeopathy with it? Did you do like arnica or Bellis or
I have never done homeopathic on me, only twice on Gigi. And that's why I have a question on homeopathic since you were talking about it. I know
Okay,
I've asked you
let's
this
do it.
before. Okay, and then wait, let me ask you this before I drop it again.
And if you guys are just joining, our guest speaker bounced for the day. He had a family funeral to attend, and so I just found out at the last minute he wasn't going to be here. So we're just doing Q&A and idle discussions. So, yay.
So the clay I have is RX clay,
Yes.
and it's what is it?
Bentonite.
No, it's not.
Monomorolite.
It's hydrated calcium alumina.
Aluminosilicate.
Yeah.
It's
It's,
bentonite.
okay, so we're good with that. Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure. It was at the vet. I said, maybe I should just get this to have.
And you can put that on your neck. So
My
it's
neck is good. I
okay.
went because of the freeze that we had here in Florida, like 90% of the plants died. It looks like shit down here. And this weekend I got tired of looking at it all, and we are they're never gonna get we have a community landscaper. By the time he gets to me, it'll be like another month. So I went out there and I was just like digging and cutting and doing all kinds of stuff. My body should be killing me, and it's not because I've been using the light. It's amazing.
That
I
is
mean,
amazing. I
I
did
feel a
some
little bit,
gardening
but not much.
yesterday too. I cleaned a bunch of stalls in my barn yesterday, and I actually feel just moderately hammered. Not too bad. I was pretty proud of myself. But I took my methylene blue. So, yeah, not holistic, you guys. Methylene blue is not holistic, but it definitely has some health benefits.
So, I can feel like the back of my legs and stuff, but I don't hurt that much, and I'm surprised. And I cut like 4 gigantic piles of crap out there.
That's so awesome. I love
It's so
that.
bad. I can't believe how many plants we all lost here. It's amazing. It's like
Well, and
everything is
all the
brown.
lizards and iguanas and stuff.
Well, the lizards are fine. Thank God the baby frogs, I think, all died on my patio because Candy chases them. Did you ever see that picture with the one she caught that was dead?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think so.
with it
She,
on her tongue?
yeah, that's so
It's
gross.
gross.
Yeah.
It's like, stay away from me. So it's
Yeah.
like I'm like on Frog Alert out there, and I haven't seen any. So that was one good thing. Okay, so let's talk homeopathic for a minute. I know I've kind of touched base on this with you.
Let's do it.
So one of the girls in our group, not our group, but our network, has a puppy a little bit younger than Candy. She had a bunch of retained teeth. Her vet told her to do 1 m of
Calcareous.
calciphosphate, yeah,
Hmm.
and to just pour it on the top of the cap, put it on the gums once a week for 3 weeks.
Did
All
it
the
work?
teeth, all the teeth fell out but one.
That's
So
amazing. So all the deciduous teeth got dropped on a
yep,
1M cal.
and she was doing it once a week though.
Yeah.
So I asked Erin, I said, how, because I knew she studied, how does this know to use the baby teeth and not the adult teeth? And she said it will never affect the adult teeth. So then I said, okay, let me move on. Peter hooked me up with Andrea, his homeopath.
Andrew Ring. Yeah.
Yep. And I'm taking her class
Cool.
so I can learn. And she said to me, I want you to she gave me a couple different amounts
Silica.
to use and the silica. And
Yeah.
she said, use them together. But she didn't give me any dosing. She didn't give me any frequency. And I'm not into the class enough to know what to do. The other question I have is Candy okay, so I could send you a picture so you could see it. She has one molar that the other baby molars on the top in front, and it's black in the middle, or looks more blue. So
And
it
it's a puppy tooth or a permanent?
it looks like it's a puppy tooth in front of the adult tooth. And
Okay.
it's loose. When I was at AHVMA, Jerry Bukoff looked at it because he used to be my vet, and he said, that thing's loose, it's going to fall out. Well, it's 6 months later, and it's still just as loose as it was.
Okay, so
So,
you could use the same protocol and you could go to like a 1M
so
or
do
an
what?
LM.
So my question is, do I have to get it on that tooth, or does it matter?
No,
I just get it on the
just
gum.
just get it on the gum, but you could also do ozone. So you could do your O3G on the
I
tooth.
don't have, forget that. I don't have it. I don't have the
You
shampoo.
could do your red light on the side of the face.
I was thinking of that. I didn't know if I had to get it on the tooth, and I knew I couldn't touch it. I asked my vet because she does homeopathics, but I don't think she knows enough if I could touch it with gloves on. And she said yes, but isn't my energy still going through the gloves to the remedy?
Yeah, but it's probably not that profound.
Okay. I
Yeah,
mean, and
you're
I was
not going
gonna,
to antidote your remedy that way.
or
I
am I
yeah.
better off
I
doing water, like a water dilution, and then using a dropper right on the tooth?
You could do a wet dose.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
listen, with my horses, I pour the tablets on my hand, they lick them off. So they're touching my skin. I don't put gloves on.
Yeah,
Okay.
we aren't that hyper
No.
diligent. I
Okay.
And
mean,
they still work.
yeah, you should be, but you don't have to be.
I mean, I can make a
Absolutely.
little
Thank you,
funnel
Mary.
too if I want to aim it to the tooth, but if I don't have to get it all the way in the back, then I'd probably be
You
fine.
don't have to get it on the tooth. It's the body that's going to do the work.
Okay. And how many? It's just do a capful like Michelle did, or
Your pup is a pup, so you're gonna do the child's dose. So whatever the recommendation is
well, hers
for
was
children.
too,
Yeah,
Okay.
you do the child's dose. You don't
because
do
she
the
her
adult
her
dose.
puppy is about 2 or 3 months younger than Candy, and she was told just to take one capful, just cover the bottom of the cap and throw it on the gum.
That must be a different brand.
Okay.
And Poppy, that's probably what's the brand that's is it henna
Honeyman Labs, if
yeah,
it's
because
so
they're so small that it is a little hard. That's why some people say dump it in the cap. I've had that with those.
and I do that with Jessica's nose sods. I actually
Yeah,
took the
because they're
West
small
Nile
like
one.
the same. Yeah, there's did you?
Yeah,
I
I
want to
took the West
know.
Nile one the other day. You want to know? You're so funny.
I
You guys
do.
know
Because
that
I
I
have a
do
homeopathic
everything to myself.
I have a homeopathic question in the comments. Actually, it was funny that you said let's go homeopathic because I was like, yeah, I need to know. Um, but yeah, I think the Henneman, say it again. I can never say
Ottoman.
any.
Hanneman.
Oh,
Hanneman.
that lab, they're small like Jessica's nosodes, and the nosodes are just too darn hard. I also Jessica's not on, is she? She could chime in on this, but I also will lick the tip of my finger with hers, tip the bottle on it, and she says do it that way, and that came from her. So
Yeah, so I will. So I did I I stuck something in my finger the other day, like I cut my finger cleaning stalls, and so I did Jessica's East-West tetanus combo, and that worked
yeah,
great. And took the pain out of my finger and helped that. And
And you
then,
can
really?
do red
Mhm.
light with that too, my dear.
Yeah, I don't
With
have
the
it.
blue. Oh,
I
that's why you need
lent.
another one. Go
Yeah,
on.
I lent it. I cannot keep that red light in my hands. Everybody loves it, and everybody keeps borrowing it.
Poppy, this will be an easy one. No, so or not no, so homeopathic for an abscess. I got my
Hey par, hey par, hey par, hey par,
I
hey par.
probably have that. Okay, my
Hey par
poor.
is my favorite abscess remedy, and you could give it if it's a 30C, give it multiple times.
Okay.
So you could give it like every 30 minutes.
Okay, my poor oldest
And you,
gal. And it's hard on the old ones when they get an abscess. Really hard
and you
on
can
the rest
do
of their body.
a bentonite clay pack. So I think
On the
abscesses,
foot. Mm.
yeah. So leave it on for 48 hours. Let it marinate wet for
Mm-hmm.
48 hours with a diaper, and then do your hay par, and it should be blown out in 48 hours.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
looking
I
through all
like it.
my
I like it
homeopathic
way
stuff.
better than Magnet Paste.
Okay.
I don't love Magnet Paste.
I use animal Lintex pads.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but they work usually. They're just not working for her.
I've never used them, so I just
Mm-hmm.
don't. I've never had to because bentonite works so good.
Yeah.
Trisha's asking me what's a good source for the methylene blue. I ordered Dr. DePaulo's human one the other day. It should be at my doorstep in a matter of like 48 hours. So I'm gonna try that one, Trisha. He has the Ozactin human and canine blend, and that has methylene blue in it. But the methylene blue that I'm on right now is a tube, and it says like next something on it. So I'll put it in the membership, and it's mixed with ascorbic acid. So it's got some vitamin C to help the assimilation.
Here's a really dumb question.
Yep.
As I'm digging through all of my homeopathic remedies, how do y'all organize your homeopathic remedies?
So great question. I go on Amazon and I buy bullet cases.
Oh,
Yeah, so just make sure they're big enough, but so you can literally see the label through the bullet case. Like I turn all the labels, and so you don't have to look it up. You just check it out. If you guys want to just chit chat, my bullet cases are right underneath the stairs, and I could run and get one for you if you want.
Okay.
sure.
You guys,
And then, yeah, but then can we go back to Candy so I can get this squared away?
yeah, talk amongst yourselves.
Is that's not the tooth? You were saying the tooth? Is Candy
Yeah.
the tooth?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I think you're overthinking how to deliver it. It just has to get to the gums. The gums are going to absorb it, not the tooth.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's what I didn't know.
Yeah, they just have to it's like a membrane. It's like that mucous membrane of the gums. Like there's times I'll not shove, but grab 6 or so of the boron pellets, which are bigger than the other ones you were talking about to dump in a cap. And I'll just grab them with my fingers and put them in my horse's jaw, like in their gum, like just put it in the side of their face because they're eating hay or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Hang on. I got to get to my screen where I can see.
Let me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Way better.
And you can see all your labels.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, no, they're all in a bag in one place. And
Yeah, I got the red one too. So it comes with a lid, and you can do that. But the gray one, you can read through it really easily.
I like that.
So
I would never even know those were a thing because I don't have a gun.
So
I was going to say that's so American. Guns. Bullet cases.
a bullet holder. This is your bullet holder for homeopathy. And so you guys just make sure you get the right size. So I'll look up what size I bought because they have obviously a bajillion different sizes. So I don't think. Oh, it says made in the USA on the bottom.
Of course. Who else is going to buy a gun case? Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Is that from Amazon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were $2.
Good find.
Yes. So great
Mm-mm.
question. I'm glad you asked that because I never remember to talk about it. And I've had girlfriends that are like, oh my God, that's so smart. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yes.
Okay, so back to Candy.
And then, wait, Trisha's asking, how do I find the no-sode? Jessica from Earth Song Ranch has a lot of different no-sodes, but also My Fine Equine has similar no-sodes. So you could go either direction, whatever's easiest for you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Michelle used 1M of the Calspas. Andrea told me do 30C of that and then do either 1M or 200C of silica twice a day for a week. But she didn't say which one, like alternate, do them together. And what's like, I don't know enough yet about 30C versus 200C versus 1M. Like, is 1M
Okay.
stronger than 30C? Or
Yes. So
what's
the higher the number, the deeper the body. 30C is like in C meaning centesimal, 100 on 100 scale.
Uh-huh.
M is on a millionth scale.
So the
So-
one that is smaller is less.
The 30C will hit you more superficial. So
Uh-huh.
you can multi-dose a 30C like every 15 minutes in an acute crisis.
Right.
and that is totally fine. And I love 30Cs. Like the purple ones are 200 from Broyon, or however you say that company, and the blue ones are 30. I'm a I'm more of a 30 low potency 30C person, but if it's a long standing chronic issue, you should have a chronic prescriber help you with that. And B, the higher the number, the deeper, the longer it works. So it might work like your friend
But
once a
Poppy,
week.
that is confusing. I know where she's confused. The higher the number, the deeper. It's actually kind of the opposite intuitively because the low one is a lower number than 30. So you
No,
see what
but
I'm
we're talking millions
I
over
know. I
centesimal.
understand. I understand. I think that gets confusing though when you don't quite understand the
Okay,
formulation.
so for Candy, since you know her and she's 8 pounds and she's 15 weeks, would you go 30C or would you do the 1M?
Um,
Michelle used the
for
1M and
the stuck deciduous tooth, I wouldn't go 30.
yeah,
I
that's
would
what
go the
Andrew's.
1M.
Okay, and that's what Michelle
So,
used.
so let me tell you, the reason why I went to homeopathic school is just because of everything you're saying. Everybody does homeopathy different.
Right.
And I got super frustrated because, some people are saying multi-dose, overlap remedies, do this, do that. And so I was like, enough. I love homeopathy. I'm so confused. I'm going to homeopathic school. So what I learned at homeopathic school is everybody does it different. That's what I learned. And so what Andrea does is not what I do. We do some very, very different things. I don't do multi-remedy overlap like she does. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It's a difference between a classic prescriber and a complex prescriber. They're just different ideas. And so, ideally, what I've been trained is you try to find the perfect one remedy fit.
And that's what I was taught originally by Michael Dim. Anyway,
Exactly. And he's a classic prescriber. He's Picarin trained. So that's classic.
okay, so my gut's been telling me right along that I should do exactly what Michelle did, which is the 1M at once a week or maybe twice a week. I don't know. And call it a day and do like 4 at a time, maybe. That would probably fill a cap.
Whatever it says on your thing for child's dose, just do your child's
Okay.
dose.
Now
Because
what
I don't know your brand.
Okay, and that's the next question. Hahnemann is like $50 to get these things and ship it to me. I can go on Amazon, which Dim was okay with, to get Uranus or Borean. Is there a difference
Yeah, I
between
don't know if Boreon has those higher
He does.
potencies.
They do. They both
Okay.
have.
I've never bought a 1M Boreon, so
I mean, but I've been using the other 2 remedies I used, and he was good with it for the Lysin, was the
two.
Uranus. And I
Yeah.
haven't had a problem. I mean,
If Dim says yes, I'll back him.
I didn't know if one brand was better than the other. They both have their own store on Amazon, so I feel better about that.
I've never
you're
used
talking-
Uranus,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I've used Borean and the Henneman.
and I've used this one, the green one,
I haven't heard of
Oleos.
that. Okay.
Oh, I haven't used that
And
one.
this is organic, actually.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll either do one or the other.
You
whatever
guys are all
that-
excited. You're like, I have never seen that one. I
Mhm.
know. Look, you guys.
I mean, the thing is, if I get 2 from the 2 of them, which I'm not going to get the silica at this point, from Borean, from Hahnemann, it's $50 to get to me, whereas I could get 2 for $20 free shipping from Amazon.
Yeah. The thing you want to check with Amazon if you order, because there was a problem for a minute happening, though I've still ordered from them and been fine. When you get your bottle, make sure the label isn't over another label.
You
Okay.
had that. That's right. So make sure you get it specifically from the Bryon store or the Oleos store or the Uranus store.
Yeah,
I mean, you can still order it on Amazon, but you got to look at who's sourcing it to Amazon.
Yeah.
okay. I'll probably just get the Uranus.
That's horrible
so
that
far.
they did that, Mary.
Yeah, it's
Doesn't
crap.
surprise me
I'll
though.
say though, like I got some extra remedies I wouldn't have bought. I was like, well, maybe there's reason in it. I don't know.
Exactly.
Um,
Often people stick those remedies back in those display cases, and
mhm.
then you end up buying the wrong remedy. I'm like, oh well, maybe one day
Maybe I
I'll
needed
use
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, but so to go a little deeper for because what I'm gonna say, and I want you to check me if I'm wrong, Poppy, because I'm very much a learning of this homeopathic work. In fact, I found a vet that is moving local to Michigan,
Yay.
who is trained in homeopathy, among other things, but she's like a true vet, a large animal. I'm gonna have her once a year out to do some work on my horses, and then she said I can consult with her like specifically on their needs with her around homeopathy, which I think would be helpful for me. But
Yeah.
anyway, so
What
like the
area is this vet move into?
Michigan.
What
Yeah,
part?
I'm from Michigan. What area in Michigan?
Yay, Michigan. Like,
She is moving north of me by an hour. I can't remember where. If you want to message me, I can
Mary,
share
what?
her
Okay,
info.
you're not gonna
I'm
say
in
where.
I'm in Battle Creek, so I'm
Oh,
down.
I'm in Middleville,
Yeah, so she probably would come your way. So,
and I'm about an hour north of you.
well, there you go. She might even be moving in your backyard. Just grab me on Facebook and message me, and then I will. Or here, I'll put my email. Well, email sucks. I'm so behind in email. Just message
I've
me on
been to
Facebook.
Middleville. Middleville, I took a massage course down there by someone whose name I've forgotten years ago. And then you have the famous Serpent Mound just outside of Middleville.
I
Is
don't
that?
even know anything about that.
Isn't that it? I think I'm in the right place. Anyway,
Mm,
Oh
I'm
my
looking
God.
up her info so I can share it with you. But Poppy, deeper
Yeah.
discussion, 30C versus 1M that you just had that whole discussion. So it would be 30, like, tell me if I'm wrong, but I would do 30C and I can do it more than once, like we were talking about for my mare who has an abscess in her foot because that's an acute happening right now. It hasn't been in her body, like, but my guy with EPM that probably had EPM 4 years of his 5 years of life at the time, we did switch from because we were doing 30Cs, it just wasn't touching anything. In fact, Jessica made a 200C for me. We're everything he gets is 200 at this point because everything has been so long standing
Chronic.
in his system.
Yeah.
So if that helps anybody, because it took me a minute to I remember saying the same thing to Poppy. Why 30? Why 1M? What the hell?
Yeah, so it's a dilution, hyperdilution. So if you guys think that, and I'm probably going to explain this wrong, so forgive me, is like they split the mother tincture 30 times and then they do each one 30 more times and each one 30 more times. So it's smaller than nanoparticles. But what Hahnemann stumbled onto is
Replace the one piece,
whoops.
put the new piece in.
Who's talking in the
Put it
background
back.
there?
Somebody
back
needs
on,
to
got it
mute
going.
their because we
Yeah.
can hear
Point
your
was that we were-
partner talking.
Okay.
There you go.
And so you're hyperdiluting, you've lost any trace of the mother tincture. You lose the mother tincture at 24x or 12C. If you're above 12C, so if you go past 12C, there's no detectable amount of the mother tincture, or 24x, which is times 10. So X meaning 10, C meaning 100, M meaning millionth. In Europe, they do a whole different system based off their own language. So I've had Europeans go, oh, we have Ds. And I'm like, what's a D? But I think D is decimal. Yeah. So just know if you're a European and you're listening to our conversation, you think we're crazy, just know in the US and Canada, I think it's all X, C, M's, and LMs. So, and Pekarin's a huge fan of 10 LMs. And I have other friends that play in LMs all the time. So I cannot explain LMs. I'm sorry.
You had somebody on the show. I don't remember who it was, Poppy. They
Dr.
said,
Dim, I think. Do you want to?
Maybe. There was somebody in the expert in homeopathy, and they said with horses, they just go to 200 usually. Like they don't even mess with the 30 half the time. I know everybody's going to do it different, but because often with horses, unless it's an abscess like this, and who knows, this could have been brewing for a long time, but horses are so good at covering it, and sometimes our other animals are too. Anyway, I
Right.
just put the
And with the Haypar, every time I give Haypar for something, something else blows out. So just
Yeah.
know that even though you're
My
hyper
poor old
focused,
lady, she's gonna
yeah,
be like a mess.
even though you're hyper focused on this one, the homeopathy doesn't know to go to only that. So you might have multiple abscesses blow out or something come out of the side of her face or something
Yeah.
like that. So just FYI, every time I use it, I'm like, where is it gonna go? And
Mhm.
it always goes to multiple places that I never even knew existed. And Brody is eating more junk off the floor.
So the vet information is in the chat for everyone that wants to know. I
Okay.
love that that is 10 minutes from you, Hope. And I'm just not saying it all out loud because this is recorded and such, and I haven't actually used this vet, but for this group, those of us on the Zoom, it's there for you.
Yay, that's so exciting. And maybe she'll do iridology. Maybe she'll be excited about that. I hope. Maybe you can bring
I was gonna say I'm
iridology.
gonna check her out. Maybe I can meet her one day and just like get a feel for her. And
Buy her lunch. You guys buy your friends your so I network. Julie's really good at this. Julie invites people to dinner all the time. And I was married to a bass player, and we took some famous people out to dinner, and they always said yes. There was never a point where anybody was like, "No, we're not going to go out to dinner with you." They love to eat, and they love it when you pay for it. So buy.
I wonder if she would draw blood to do titers for dogs too.
She might.
Well, you should be able to find a small animal vet that'll do that. Like my small animal vet isn't that integrative. He does acupuncture, but that's about it. And he will titer test, no problem.
What does he charge you though? Because around here it's
Oh,
over
it's all
400
stupid
bucks.
expensive. Yeah, but that's the lab too. That's not just the vet. That's the
And
problem. That's why people don't do titering because it's dumb expensive.
I don't think the lab is technically that much though. There's a lab that's only like, I don't know, 35 or $65.
so if if you're gonna do titers, you won't need. Okay, DePaulo was on last week.
Hmm.
He basically said memory cells are memory cells. You don't need to revaccinate. They're in there. Don't waste your money doing no sods or like anything. And I was like, go. And then so we have some amazing veterinarians in our group. In DePaulo's joined our group now. So he sees your threads and your questions and he's willing to answer them. So
Well,
you guys
and
I know.
Dr. Koger, do you know Dr. Koger from the Inside Scoop, right, Poppy?
Yes.
She has a business. You can do titer testing with her no matter where you're at, for your small animals. So I'm gonna look up her page. But the other thing,
Homeopath also does it with Dr. Jean Dodds, and they do
oh yeah,
dogs, cats, and horses.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, there's options without going
Kansas
to your vet.
Kansas State does them. Texas A&M does them, and I believe Cornell does them, and maybe even Purdue.
And I worked with Dr. Kozer with our dog virtually, and my vet was, as long as you have a vet willing to pull the blood, do the thing, whatever, send to the lab. Like she gave me 3 or 4 diagnostic things to do that my vet sent to those labs and did the thing, and then she would interpret and help us understand what that meant.
Yeah. I'm so Trisha asked me, maybe you guys can help me because I don't know what she's saying. Trisha asked, who is the PETA, the PETA mentioned in relation to homeopathy? And I don't know what that means.
Is that on Facebook or something?
Yeah, she's asking that on Facebook.
No, I'm on.
On the thread, on the live stream
Yeah.
So we're live. So I don't know what that means. So elaborate. And you guys remember there's a lot of scandal in the holistic industry. Is they claim people mix holistic with homeopathic all the time. It drives me a little psycho, actually. So holistic is a broad umbrella spectrum of all these complementary alternative therapies. Homeopathy is a holistic remedy, but homeopathy is its own system. I see products online, products at the health food stores saying homeopathic remedy. It has to have a potency label on the back, like 30C, 10X, something on the back. If it's just a bunch of herbs in its original form, it is not homeopathy. And I see it constantly. Julie mentioned it when she was talking about the class. I don't think Julie mentioned PTA, PETA. So she's taking Andrea Ring's class.
No, I didn't say anything about PETA.
Yeah. Holistic means to look at the whole body. Holistic
So-
also is a broad umbrella term of all things natural or but whole, meaning holistic, is yes, the whole body. But homeopathy, I see lots of people. In fact, I'll have Zoom appointments with people and I'll be like, are you into homeopathy? Oh yeah, I love homeopathy. I'm really into it. And I'll be like, okay, do arnica. And their face goes blank. I'm like, oh, you think holistic means homeopathy? And they're like, yeah, it does, doesn't it? And I'm like, no.
No.
Yeah, this is homeopathy.
I just put in regards to titers with rabies. John, who I work with Gyms for Dogs, he hooked me up to this Animal Law has a titer chart and all the different states. He said there are like 10 states now that have released all their strict restrictions on having to get a rabies vax, and more states doing it. He said all you have to do is do it titer, and then if they say, well, you have to have a rabies shot, well, no, my dog already has enough titer, and that's my medical excuse.
And
you don't
and you
overdo
guys,
it.
so in the horse industry, if you're showing your horse, they require you to get lots of vaccines. But if you show titers, you can, and your vet writes you an exemption, you can get exempted from excessive vaccines. So we are seeing way too much metabolic issues in horses. You do not need to vaccinate 2 to 4 times a year. It's ridiculous. I have used no-sodes since 2008. I have had to vaccinate one horse in 2017 for showing purposes, but that was the last time any of mine got vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then talking about the cellular level versus the titer, because this is the other thing I learned,
the
at least
memory.
again in dogs, we don't, I don't know. I had a vet go to a titer webinar for horses, and they were like told titers aren't even telling us like that. She was basically turned off to do titers after the webinar, which is nuts. But small
But it was
animals,
probably sponsored by Purina.
I know that's the
Or
problem, right?
Zoetis.
Like that's the problem.
Zoetis,
Who's
sponsored by
paying for the
Zoetis.
research? Like, yeah, I know, right? And so, but the small animal, there's been more done. So anyway, the whole cellular level versus titering, you don't have to titer every year. This is how I learned anyway, Poppy. You correct me on this because it's not
No,
my,
I agree.
but that you
If your titer
titer,
levels are
and once
high.
you show, once you show that the body is reacting. So actually in puppies, don't they say to titer? This is what we did with ours. They say to titer after they get their second booster, so many, whatever, a month, so many within so many months. And then you know that the body, when you have the titers that show they're high, the body's working its immune system. And then on the cellular level, that will stick into their system. So you don't have to keep retitering.
So
for
I
vaccinating.
would love to see people titer their puppies before vaccines to see what
Oh, if
vaccine.
mama, well,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother conversation, but at least, yeah.
You
Hello.
know, they vaxxed Candy before she was 10 weeks old. And I was told that was the biggest waste of putting toxins in her body
Because they have
because,
an innate immune
right,
They
system from
can't.
the mother.
right. So they're not using those toxins except to poison their body. They're not doing anything to build their immunity. She only got one other vax at 16 weeks. That was it. And she got her one rabies at 9 months, I think. And the vet, even though she's holistic, not homeopathic, or both actually, she said we need to do one more in a year because we want to make sure she has immunity. I said, bullshit. I was like, and Dim said to me, nope, you just go tighter. You don't have to do anything else.
Here's a different question about titers. My vet, who does recommend titers, said to me, but lepto is never going to show up on a titer as protective. Tell me about that, Poppy. Do you
So
know?
Dr. Michael Dim, somebody asked him that in a post, and I think he said it was maybe it was even distemper, is that he rarely sees an adequate titer in that because of some sort of processing value, but it doesn't mean the memory cells aren't active. Yeah, good question. I would talk to I would maybe we'll have Michael Dim back on.
Have somebody on that can talk about this both in equines and small animals, because I'll say I'm at the cusp of I keep screwing up the no-so dates. So I'm like giving up on doing no-sodes with the horses and just not potentially just not vaccinating. Like I don't know.
So it got hot here. All of a sudden there was mosquitoes. I was getting bit, so I I accidentally did the West Nile no sewed. So I thought it was something else. I thought it was the tetanus one, and I put it in my mouth. My heart skipped a beat, and I was like, "What just happened?" And I rolled the label. And I'm like, "Oh, it's West Nile." And then I was like, "Well, I must have needed it if I had that kind of violent reaction to it." And so I kind of slept it off and woke up, and I'm like, "I feel pretty good." Um, and so I got bit by a bunch of mosquitoes yesterday. And so I took it again and I felt really good. And so I'm like, well, but I have had West Nile in the past. I ran a massive fever. So the symptoms of human West Nile, body trunk rash, excruciating neck pain, and a high fever. So I had all of that. I laid in bed for at least 5 days with a gnarly fever. And so I wondered if it was working on the long term residual damage or the toxin that I
That's
might
an
have released.
interesting, yeah, that's interesting. Mm, in that my horse, well, Brayson, the one that is like the study for all of us, um, found out his dam had Potomac when she was in foal for him.
Oh,
Yeah, and found that out, Poppy, because I was digging deeper to
and
understand what
that's
I
a
might have.
snail.
And
That
when I
comes from snails,
and when I
swamp
have
snails.
when I have given the Potomac no sode, he struggles a little bit with it. And I do wonder if there's residual stuff with
So,
these no,
so let
yeah.
me tell you an observation. So because the mosquitoes are out, I gave all my horses the West Nile no-sode, and they got wonky behind. They started having EPM-like symptoms, and I wondered if the West Nile vaccine actually is one of the
Mm,
reasons why we are having more EPM.
hmm. Hmm.
Home.
There's so many. Mm,
Okay, so EPM,
yeah.
Janet
Equine
St. Go on.
protozoal myeloencephalitis.
It's a
Okay.
neurologic disease.
So Janet St. Pierre's horse has it, and
Oh,
she has a torch, and it's improved it.
Yeah, and
She's
she
different.
worked with she I saw that on Inside Scoop the other day that she worked with Dr. Kendra Pope on her horse's EPM. And I was like, "What? Um, girl, get me Kendra."
I'm trying. She's mad at me because I can't get her pad. She
Well-
did 2 raffles for the pad.
Do not let her get mad at you.
Yeah, but
Julie,
here's the thing.
we
You know
need
what?
her.
I'm going to at Global. Trina Hazza is going to probably be there because Rooted Owl is there, and we're also got Lily Shen's on board with the lights. So if Trina's there, I'm going to work on her for you, and then once she does it, maybe we can get Kendra.
And then Trisha's
So I don't-
saying, have you tried Moxie Q homeopathy to stop the bugs? No, I don't know anything about it. I've never heard of it. So Trisha, tell me more.
Is
Yeah.
she talking about Moxie? 'Cause
Ju-
Josie does that.
Who?
We do that. Moxie, it's like I can't explain what it is. It's like a charcoal stick, and you heat it up, and then you hold it over.
Yeah, it's like
the air-
smudging acupuncture points.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We
not
did that in
homeop-
Josie's group.
That's not homeopathy.
Hey, Julie, I don't
Yeah.
want to say other brands on a recorded situation, but your light versus I do have a light pad in my barn, which you're talking about the EPI. So your light pad is likely helping the central nervous system rebuild, is what
Yeah.
I'm going to suggest, not necessarily killing the protozoa. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if we know enough about how to kill them at this point.
Okay, so
But
and so with light,
but is
it's-
it yours versus other light pads that might have been out there for a while? I can put it in the messenger if you want to look what one I
what's
have.
the first initial of the pad?
Oh, for God's sake.
Probably a P because 3 of them are P's, I think.
Okay.
Or
let
the
me
G, the gospel one.
that might be G then.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know enough about
Not
that.
that was decoded enough to put on the live vid, but whatever.
All right. So the thing with red light is that it addresses inflammation.
Mhm.
It generates circulation. It does phagocytosis. It takes the toxins out of the bad toxins out of the cells. As it regenerates new cells, it's pushing the old ones out. It does fascia release. It does lymphatic drainage, edema drainage. Like Poppy, you know about drainage with what happened with you. It
Probably need a light for my mare's foot while I'm at it.
I'm
My mare
sorry.
needs the light on her foot because now I'm worried about giving her HEPA because I'm like, well, what if something else blows internal, Poppy?
Oh, no. It's
So-
not like she has a. So I do worry. You have a good point there. I do
'Cause
worry
she's
about
had some
bastard
funky.
strangles. So bastard strangles, I do not do Hapar on or bastard pigeon fever. Because I don't know.
She's
I
the one
don't
that she's the one that had Potomac. Anyway, Julie, keep going. I'm
know.
just
No,
like,
you could do that though.
And I don't know what your pad is or what wavelengths it is, but most likely it's just 660 and 850, whereas ours are a lot stronger. Jackie, who owns the company, is an equine body worker at a canine too, and she's been
Mhm.
doing that for years. So that
Mhm.
she developed it obviously with horse safety in mind, but it might be that ours works because of the 810 and the
Mhm.
850, and then also
The
the
and
infrared.
it's different than cold lasering
Yeah.
cold laser, yeah, and cold laser.
because I have
You have to be
those too.
careful with laser, and because you can burn, you can overdo, you can actually burn tissue and destroy things versus help things. With red light, you can't do any damage. The only time you can't use red light is as a human. I don't think you would ever do this on an animal. If you had a trigger finger and you purposely severed your tendon to release that trigger finger, somebody went and used light on it after the surgery and it heals it
Oh,
back,
it'll heal back up.
and they had to go get another surgery. So we know we don't want to do that.
Well, and you
Mhm.
can do it on gelding scars, gelding adhesions, things like that.
All right, put your link in the chat again, Julie. I know you did before, but would you do that again for me in my
Uh,
hectic life?
Well,
Um,
actually, I'll put poppies.
Poppy Soul, which I love.
But you know what, Mary, I'll put my email in there.
Okay.
And
because-
Mary, from the
Mhm.
from the Inside Scoop the other day, Sunday, yesterday.
I wasn't on. I wasn't
Okay,
on this weekend.
So it was really good. It was
I'll have to
really
watch it
good.
back.
And,
Okay.
and she is an anesthesiologist and therapy. But she talked about anesthesia launching some low-key diseases. It
Oh, and look at
suppresses-
how often we do stuff to our horses.
So it suppresses the immune system. And that's what I see with Democedan. And I have every single vet go, no, you don't see that. I'm like, how many people
I
have
had
I?
a vet go, well, yeah, they look neurologic when they're drugged. I'm like, well, okay.
They don't come out of it very
Yeah,
well
but for
either.
2 weeks they continue to have a problem in their system. Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
So I was
ugh.
so excited. I was like, yes, finally, I got a vet to say it.
Tell me again what you use though, Poppy, because like I'm,
I just use like Ace and Rump and combo. I
but
tell
ACE is just gonna slow the heart, right? Like settle the heart.
Right. So I just tell all my clients to tell their vets because I've only seen it with Democedan.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't seen it with anything else yet. But I tell all my clients just say my horse is allergic to Democedan. Please don't use it.
And then they'll come up with some other concoction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Torbal or something.
Mm.
Mary, am I on speak? No. Okay.
You're on.
It's like my keyboard's blocking my microphone now. I don't get it. Anyway, I just put my email in the chat.
I
Write
saw.
me,
Thank you.
and I'll send you my ebook. It has a lot about light therapy. It's different stuff than what's on the actual what do you call it on the website.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Any other questions, you guys? This turned out to be kind of a fun night. So we made the best of cancellation.
What's the inside scoop? It's a podcast.
Oh,
It is Dr. Karen Becker and Rodney
Oh.
Habib's group. It is Canadian based, my friend. So you should be
Yay!
knowing about this anyway. Rodney Habib is pretty much single-handedly got everyone towards the fresh food diet. And then
Oh yes, I listened to something about him. Yeah.
and then him and Karen have partnered for years now, right? Mary, I think I've been in the inside scoop for 5 years.
Wow.
I haven't been that long. So I joined
I've been
4 years ago.
Yeah, actually, I've been in it longer than
Well,
you.
they
I
were
think
longer
it's
than
like
that because they had
19.
Susan Garrett on
Yeah.
originally, but like Susan, they're all still good friends, but like Susan was really focused on training and wanted to stay in that lane, so to speak, because she has, thousands of students that aren't necessarily feeding in the same way.
Right. Yeah. No, it was kind of an odd mix with all three of them. Because I'm no dog trainer. So
It's really hard though, because I'm a coach for Susan. It's really hard for me because there's so much now I understand with food and behavior. It's really hard to unwind those things. And so, but I'm because I'm coaching for her, I have to stay with, what. And so, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
gosh, the gut microbiome, the more we know, the more we know. And
Yeah.
so
She has her trusted professionals that we can like refer to, but yeah, I get it. She wants to control, like she wants not control. She wants to make sure because there's also a lot of people out there that are saying they're homeopathic and they mean they're integrative or they're holistic or
exactly.
whatever.
See,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
happens all the time, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Argh."
hmm
But
See what Jackie does with our pads and with the horse blanket. She does the gut microbiome with the pad because, as she said, you never exposing your belly to the sun unless you're at the beach, and the
Yeah.
animals definitely aren't exposing their belly on a long term. So that's why she does the gut microbiome.
interesting. Now, so on Sunday's conversation with Rodney and what was her name? Right? Was
Yes,
it?
something like that.
They talked about, so she's a physio vet, and she talked about the gut microbiome affecting the spine, which we see in iridology, is we see along that pupillary ruff the spinal connection to the stomach. So I was like freaking out again. I'm just like, all my theories were being confirmed on Sunday. So go back and watch that. Yeah, that was
Yeah, I need to.
that
I need
was
to.
good time
Hey, you
for
were
me.
asking about Stable Feed on Facebook.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that they fed Stable Feed. I've never heard of it.
So I'm getting turned on to it and they're linked to Animal Biome on the equine side.
Oh, cool.
And so I've done fecals for both of my boys because Poppy, like I'm just at the place of like I've got to fix that, I suppose. That's just where I'm at. but they do like a protocol of particular supplements that they don't sell on their website. They're because they're, they're like, do this, then do this 2 weeks later, that, like they stack on top of each other to heal the gut
Great.
and get the biome back in order. Yeah, it's a really interesting company. And I am
So-
feeding their sandfoin pellets. So
Oh, cool. Sarah Griffith, as soon as she gets all the data organized, she's going to be a guest and share the results of that study.
right on.
Yeah, super excited about that. Yay. Okay, you guys, we've been on for like 2 hours just chit-chatting.
Wow.
I know. Time flies when you're having fun.
Such a wonderful group of people.
I know. I love brainstorming with all of you. I think it's
So much knowledge.
It's beautiful, isn't it? So you guys, next week, I have no idea who's on next week. Julie, keep being my guest pimp and keep rocking it. If there's anybody in the membership who wants to be a guest, I try to do iridology the first week of every month for the last 5 years. Then we do, well, 6 years. We're on our 6th year now. I try to do dog, horse, and cat whenever we can find somebody. But a lot of the people we get are multi, like DePaulo has a dog product. So I try to check all the boxes for the membership in a whole. If you have any special requests of something you want to see, somebody you want to hear from, please reach out to me. Let me know. If you want to be a guest yourself, feel free. This is a great place to practice. If you have some information and you want to like get your toe in the pool on presenting, come present in this group. We've started a lot of people who had never presented before, and then they ran and had amazing businesses. So I welcome all of that.
Poppy, if you
Yeah.
don't get anyone for next week, I could just massage my dog mom's presentation and do it. I mean, and I have in it like 10 case studies, and I could add in the essential oils like I did that I'm going to be doing for Janet when I do it.
We haven't had anybody talk about essential oils in a while. Gosh, I think the last time Janet talked about EOs,
It was ages ago.
like
It was
2022.
no.
or
sh-
something.
I was introduced to her by you, so
When was
it was.
that?
Oh no, you know what? It was the summit. She was on the summit. Mm-mm.
And you
Yeah.
also could do Peter about Pleckner.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, we've talked about that. That's why I had Odette on because Margot was so busy. And I want to talk to Margot whenever I've already messaged her. Sorry, Julie. I was like, Julie's all, what about Margot Roman? I can reach out to her. And I didn't fill in the blanks that Margot and I talk a little bit.
I know
So-
Peter's the one who said to me, nobody brings Margot on. And I said, well, let me ask Poppy. And then you're like, I already spoke to her.
Yeah, so Margot has this new like multi-poop that she's taken her dog that has lived with cancer successfully, as well as she feels like the cancer miasm dilutes and is gone in 7 generations. So she's targeting cancers with this new multi-strain poop. So I'm hoping to get her on to talk about that. So
What about Innovative Pet Labs? I'll be seeing those.
I've
at
had
Global.
them before, and
Okay.
I'm gonna say it. I couldn't wrap my. It's my fault. I couldn't really wrap my brain about what they were saying. I'm like, well, I know you're different than Animal Biome, and she's like, yeah, you should do ours first. I'm like, but why? Like, I couldn't get my mind like to wrap on that, and they were
There's-
a little annoyed with me. So
They're
that
so
was my
they're
fault.
so different. They were
They
at
are
our booth at at VMX Vet Conference, so they gave me a bunch of kits. Except they screwed up. They gave me cat, not dog. So we had to get them
Doctor
changed over.
Dr. Betsy. Yeah.
Well, actually, I was working with Katie and Jamie. So anyway, I ran at the same time from the same poop. I did Animal Biome because Odette had me do that, and I did their kit. Totally different. Animal Biome, you get a little tiny little vial that you have to like squeeze it in there and get the liquid on it. Theirs is this big fat vial and no liquid. Like nothing to like,
It's a whole different test. So they're looking
right.
for zonulin and a few other inflammatory markers, I believe, if I understand it right. And then
And what floored me out of all of it, you know what a hot mess Gigi is? Everything perfect with both of them. Nothing
so
wrong.
so I've seen very, very sick dogs have perfect microbiomes
Right.
on
And I'm
testing.
wondering when I first rescued her and I knew she was eating Benefil, that she'd been abused and she was a hot mess. I went to Erin. I said, here I am, check her out, and don't even pass go, do an FM.
Hold on, let me mute that again. Oops. Who is that? Janet, is that you?
No, it's got to be Mary or Kathleen are the only unmuted ones.
No, nobody in my house, unless it's a ghost.
Well, it worked. Whatever happened there.
Anyway, I went to Erin and I said, do her, a checkup, make sure she's okay, and don't even ask me, just do an FMT. And then after that, she was always on the right supplements and fed right. That was 6 years ago, and it held. Now, Candy,
I love FMTs, and I think FMTs work on the emotional factor. And
Oh.
people will be like, yes, it's the gut brain barrier, but
Right.
I believe that it's like an organ transplant. So I believe the cells in the FMT, if you get it from a calm dog, you have like these calm neurotransmitters,
mhm.
and it's not always about the gut microbiome. I think it also changes them like an organ transplant.
That makes sense.
So
Well,
what happens if your dog is always out in the wild eating like deer poop and
horse
elk-
poop? I had
Horse
my
poop, I
bulldog.
It depends on how
like
their
pure-
microbiome handles it. It
pure
depends on how
poop.
healthy they are.
I know, and that should do the same. Would that do the same thing as like
No,
as
No.
eating
because it's not the
dog
same
poop, eating dog
species.
poop for
No.
dog and stuff? Because I mean, they need the whatever is in the poop, or they wouldn't be
Well,
eating
but
it.
it's the actual gut biome that's so they're eating from a different species isn't going to have the same kind of and gut biome as a healthy dog.
My bulldog could hop really well, though.
Like every species has a different ideal state. They're still
Yeah,
trying to
I
figure that out with
understand
the
that,
horses.
but I mean,
yeah.
My bulldog loved horse poop, like to the point where I was concerned, and it totally stopped with an FMT. So if they're eating other animals' feces to treat themselves for something, you probably need to do an FMT.
an FMT.
Yeah.
So when I got my results back, Candy was the one who was off, and she's missing bacteria. But I'm thinking because she's such a young puppy, she's still developing her whole microbiome. So Odette wants me to put her on the pills, but I'm almost tempted. Lauren Nations, he's really big with this, is like 45 minutes from me. I'm thinking of going there and just doing an FMT with him.
The slurry.
Yeah, I think I can't imagine the pills are as effective as that.
Yeah.
And they can still get it.
Harley got both. Harley got a slurry from Margot when she was teaching here, so he was the demo dog. So I got it free, and then he got the pills, and his intellect level skyrocketed. I was jaw dropped. I did not expect that. And I even called Peter and went, how smart is Margot's dogs? And he goes, they're freaky smart. I go, my bulldog is now freaky smart. Yeah.
We joked when we were doing FMTs with our guardian breed. He became like a beagle. We decided we must have FMT tablets from Beagle because he was sniffing everything, and that's not his normal MO.
I mean, I just kind of, I know some people with the capsules, they get the runs or they get issues, whereas I never had a problem with an actual FMT with the slurry. So, and since he's so big with it, I was just like, maybe I'd just drive there and do the real deal.
I would do it. So I know Legacy Biome's looking into equine FMTs too. So
that would be amazing.
Yeah,
Where are they going to find a healthy freaking horse at these days?
I know. I used my gray horse for another horse that was foundering, and it gave her, I didn't know how much to use. So we just took his poop, mixed it in with feed. She ate it. She had a really good day that day. but then dropped right off again. So I just didn't know how much for how long to do it, and we eventually lost her, but she definitely responded for that day to it. Like, it was one of her better days. Yeah. Interesting, huh? So maybe Dr. DePaulo can get into the equine FMT market, because Margot partners it with Ozone. So she'll do an ozone rectal flush. They evacuate their bowels immediately, and then they do the FMT.
I think anyone who does it right does the ozone flush first. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
best way to
If
do
you
it. I mean,
have
that's why
ever,
Erin did it.
if you've ever done a rectal, you will evacuate your bowels too, not your balls. So, yeah. So if you're ever constipated, feel free to do an ozone gas or whatever suppository. And if a horse is colicking, it works great too. But it can be, if you are loose, be careful doing rectal ozone, because that could be a miserable experience for you. It could hurt. That's all I'm saying.
I remember when I did my first FMT with Jez, I was like, I had the whole car seat lined with wee wee pads and stuff, thinking she was going to drip on that hour ride home. Nothing.
Nothing.
And with Gigi, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys, this has been so much fun to talk about random crap, literally random crap. Pun intended on that. So, you guys have a great week. Let me know what weird and fun things show up for you this week. I have our clinical course tomorrow. We meet for the practice lab, and then I start a brand new clinical course on Wednesday morning for the international students. So if you ever want to join the clinical course and get certified as an companion animal iridologist, I welcome you. Come on out. Let me know. Get some information from me if you're excited about that. This is the first time I've ever overlapped 2 classes. I'm a little nervous about it. They're exactly a month apart, and it's a 9-week course. So in 9 weeks, you could be certified. It usually takes everybody about a month or so, Trisha, I'm calling you out, to get your finals in and your final case studies. All right. You
I got
guys have
too
a great
much going
week.
on.
Yeah. Have a great week, and thank you for hanging out with me today. That worked out just fine. So, peace.
Bye.
Bye.